Yeah, it seems to be the case. I don't think the CT's already going to be able to garner too much out of this round. You can already see Deegan away. Skunk's finishing off Gimpin. All on NK now. PT50 in hand, but only a dream with that. David will finish it off, and Euronics 2 rounds to 1 now. So they do take the lead, and a very good lead. That it must be as well, because, you know, in the last map they had 2 rounds to 16, and now they're actually winning. This is weird. I'm not used to this, but Ultimate Attacks eco into this one. The buy will be coming up in the upcoming round, and that's where things get a little bit spicy, because obviously I don't imagine they'll be able to get too much out of this. Deagles, or a couple of Deagles, a couple of PT50s, some armor on Searson, and a flashbang as well. So maybe some aggression from the CT side. They're all piling up towards A short, but the T's are going to be more than ready. Molotov's going out. That will deny any early presence from Ultimate.
Yeah, it's going to be the 4-on-4. The trade's going a little bit back and forth in mid. Ultimately, though, Tizian trapped up here towards Party is going to be helped out by his teammate. Sryson and Crispy both rotating on through. Then the trade's just going back and forth once again. Going to leave it in a 2-on-2 now. Euronics, they win control of mid. But it's a very small bit of consolation for what they have lost. And that's going to be 3 players for their side. A Galil and a UMP now as they push up towards this A site. NKJ's rotated up towards long. Crispy coming up from behind as well. Going to be raining in death from afar with the Deagle. And it's NKJ in from long to find both remaining players of Euronics there coming off the flank. It's going to be 2-2 as they take back around.
Yeah, nice stuff there indeed, but either way, Euronics are going to be able to buy, so they've got the full one out. They've got for the rifles. The AWP is going to be up on fails as well. Plenty of nades to commit to, and Ultimate Attacks not on their own AWP. Yes, they are missing Kiev, knowingly the AWP for this German side, but still, they've got enough rifles to play with. The AWP isn't really a necessity. Overpass is one of those maps you can kind of pick it up. We've been seeing some maps today where it's not really a necessity, but you know, I'd say it's not a necessity on Overpass. However, it is definitely a positive, a benefit. So I can imagine they will be putting it back on one of the players, maybe Tizian. Wait, what? Gimpin? Running, spraying, flashed shot onto Otto. That's Counter-Strike for you boys.
There we go. Nice and early man advantage gained on the back of that. Spray down and, well, you know, a little bit of luck potentially playing into it, but who knows? All skill, all skill. And we can see for the time being, Euronics have to try and play this now with a man deficit, slowly but surely rotating down towards this B site. Tizian and Sryson both primed and ready to hold on to it at all costs. You can see they don't have a lot of information about this. They are taking the play relatively slowly. Well, Smokes and Flash is going to be making their way into the site now, and that Molotov going to force Sryson out of position. He's burning into flames. He relinquishes his life over towards the side of Euronics. The Dream is able to find another. Tizian, the last player alive over on the site here, doing some damage, but he's going to get dropped as well. Now it's a 4-on-2 for the retake, and Bomb should be going down.
Yeah, these T's will be running right back in. NK is going to be trying to find himself a pick, but actually sprayed and down. Skrunk will get that kill. Gimpin's now alone. Smoke goes out into CT. They don't know he's crossed just yet, but they will be able to spot him out. He gets a kill regardless. Goes in for more, but that's going to be David. Look ready, and they're coming in with a reset to actually pick themselves up another round. It's Ultimate Attacks now on the receiving end of this damage, and they haven't got enough to buy by any means.
Yeah, and well, as we head into the 6th round, we're going to be seeing Euronics actually having the 1-round advantage. Ultimate Attacks forced into the eco now. They've got a few P250s between them and a Deagle up on Crispy to try and hold back the tide of Euronics gaming. And well, Euronics, they just had great success in towards this B site. They're looking to try and replicate that once again. 1 minute 35 seconds left on the clock. We can see just completely shut down there as they make their way through into the site. Almost textbook. They execute everyone and take it to a 2-4 scoreline.
Yeah, great stuff there. That is definitely how you're going to want to do it. And going back into this next round now, the buy coming out from Ultimate Attacks to try and come back onto at least some kind of benefit for them if that's possible, but this map is definitely not turning out to be the same as the previous one. After a 16-2 on Cobblestone, Euronics, they've suddenly been able to double their round score in just 6 rounds here, so long may that continue. I'd love to see a 3-map series here for this best of 3 for the grand final. It wouldn't be a grand final if it wasn't a 3-map series, and that would be lovely, but regardless, Ultimate Attacks, they're holding off onto B again. Euronics, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going in for more. They're going to push right out of the Monster, and a very passive play from Ultimate Attacks, not sitting very heavily on the site here, just going to be playing, waiting for this bomb to go down. It's going to be Tizian to try and take some damage, but NK will be the first of all here. It's a 4 versus 5 now. Flash is going out, bomb yet to be planted. David follows up with another Skrunk on top of the box. He's going to be able to get himself one, and David, he's not stopping it anytime soon. That's 4 kills for him, and Euronics, 5 rounds in the bag.
A very good takedown of that B site once again. It's just working out, and like you said, perfectly. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. They keep hitting that B site and having varying degrees of success, but they do always get that bombed out. They always, they've won around almost every single time they've gone B. This time, attacks, they think they've got a nice read on this. They send everyone over towards B, leaving 2 players to push through connector, try and make their way in a little bit late to push up short. That Molotov going to hold them back. And now this A site completely unprotected. If Euronics were to go a little bit fast here, try and find this information. And of course, they could just collapse onto it. You have got 2 players for the side of attacks in towards lowers. And Dreamer with a nice bit of spray control to find one, but getting put quick to refrag does take him down on the back of that P250. Puts it into a 4-on-4. And now Euronics relegated over towards the A side of the map. You can see slowly but surely pushing up long and mid are going to be uncontested for the time being.
Yeah, 1 minute 12 seconds left on the clock now, so Euronics have plenty of time to really push up towards any avenue. They don't have any pressure on them. They don't have to at least speedy get onto this side, and we do have the pistols left on alternate attack, so close range engagements are going to be the name of the game. They put all 3 players up on A just to kind of deny any presence and take these one-shot headshots out that close range if Euronics do want to feed themselves to that. But Velza, he's going to be picking up the first here out of this 4v3, turning down Tizian, and now 2 players remain here for alternate attacks, trying to hold on to the site. They may just walk into the AWP again as Velza, he is once again posted up, just waiting for the aggression. Nothing will be feeding it. As I say that, CSM walking in, that's a kill. And now NKJ, last person alive here for the alternate attack side.
Finds himself at 1 versus 4, and with around about 25 seconds left, we can see he's in towards the toilet area now, just waiting for this bomb to go down. He has to peek wide, and he might be able to find one, but no, Faust is quicker on the trigger. Does take him down, and it's going to go 6-2 as Euronics Gaming find themselves in the lead in quite a dominating fashion at that.
Yeah, this is not what we're used to seeing, but now when we go into this buy from alternate attacks, we may have a very different story on our hands. Obviously, pistols upgraded to rifles, no AWP as I mentioned, but they've got enough rifles to really make some havoc. Obviously, if David stops entry fragging, we should be okay for alternate attacks, but if not, if he carries on this streak, it could be looking very good. And oh, I like this, just once again fast barreling into B. The Molotov going to deny the quick entries though, but still they are going to be set with all 5 players outside of this site. There's no faking going on, no rotations, nothing. They're just going to fully commit to this, and they're running in through the smoke. We have Tizzy in close, he's going to go for the spray, lots of players, and he only gets 1 team kill comes out as well. That's Skunk to drop 3 men, and that's not the kind of situation you want to be in now. Euronics fighting a 2-man deficit in a 4 versus 2 with only 1 minute and 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, they're going to continue this aggression in towards B. Then they make it look like they're going to rotate off towards A, and it has worked. You can see they've pulled 1 member out of that B site, leaving it now onto the low HP Tizian to try and hold things back. He's been the first point of engagement, backed up by NKJ, and I mean, he's in danger of being discovered by the AWP. Fails, so he does hear him scope in. You should potentially get a little bit of a rotate coming through from those 2 players over at A. As the smoke goes out, it's going to just telegraph the approach here, but with 50 seconds left, I mean, they have got time to rotate off if need be. NKJ just playing around the smoke, biding his time. Be able to spot out one of the fouls up close, does take him out, and now it's all on Skrunk. 1 versus 4, and NKJ just landing shots through smoke for days, picks himself up a second frag as it goes 3-6. Alternate attacks, and they find themselves another round.
They're finally back on the board at least. They're not giving up any much longer here. Regardless, Euronics, they picked up quite a few in a row here. They're going to have that money in the bank. They've got that spare cash, and they're going to go for the buy once again. They've got a couple more out of them before we're going to see an eco. So alternate attacks, they can't afford to fault here. They can't afford to get reset. They need to start picking up a few more rounds on this board, especially considering they are on the favoured side of this map. And again, after 16-2ing them on Cobble, you'd like to think the alternate attacks are not going to bow down and give Euronics any kind of respect into this matchup. So that's something very, very important to take into account here. But regardless, slow round for Euronics. They aren't going for that fast speed that we've been seeing them doing. They want to switch up the pace, try something different. Obviously, it's been getting stale, and it's not going to taste that nice anymore. So they want to at least bring a different pace.
I mean, we have seen a lot from attacks. They are infamously, a lot weaker on the CT side. So being 3 rounds behind for the time being isn't the end of the world. If they can keep the scoreline close, should see them start to pull it back when they switch things over towards the T side, a side that they have been performing phenomenally well on. Normally we see them actually struggling quite significantly on the CT side, just because, having 2 stand-ins, it's always, the most hard felt when you're playing on that CT side. You really need the communication to be there. You can't rely on just 1 or 2 players to be picking up the frags, because Euronics, they just switch things up. They go where the top fraggers aren't, and then suddenly their defense is just ruined. We can see, though, Euronics making their way over towards A. 5 players here. No one's been spotted out yet for either side. First area of engagement is going to come from NKJ here, pushed up aggressively towards long. They're walking into a 4-man stack on this A side. If NKJ can shut down this first player in the form of Fowler, it could bode very badly here for Euronics. He knows he's there, goes for the peek, and Fowler's going to land that shot. Going to help open up long. The rotate already underway with the last remaining player from B on his way up. Tizian through the smoke, drops one, Gimpin as well, putting the hurt on them, going to get traded out, puts it back to a 3-on-3, and they're running out of time. They've only got 10 seconds left. They fall back with the bomb, and now suddenly this round has just slipped through their fingers. It shouldn't be possible, and it's not. It's going to go 4-6 as alternate attacks. A very nice hold of that A site.
Tizian, such impactful play there towards the truck. Kills the first smoke player, lots of damage onto the AWP of Felser, and then just completely denies an entry back into the site to kill those remaining 3 players. That's going to be alternate attacks do not get reset, so importantly, carry on this hot streak. And obviously, as we said, Euronics, they have the money, they can get a couple more buys out, and they will do exactly that. But how long are alternate attacks going to keep this streak of rounds up? Or are they going to start to falter? That is the issue we're facing here. But regardless, waiting for some aggression from Euronics, a very slow round. They set up outside of the A side once again. A bit of control down towards lower B in the form of Skunk there as he's in the monster area, just trying to create a distraction, just putting a bit of pressure, spraying some shots onto CSM, but no damage coming out regardless as they set the rest of their players just up towards this A short area, just trying to clear it out bit by bit. And they again got these smokes, got these flashes as well to get themselves onto a site with a full take, which is going to be very important in getting that bomb down, assuming Tizian doesn't spray in through said smoke.
For the time being, 4 players, Euronics up here. Like you say, they do have Skrunk on the flank. Someone who's been fragging exceptionally well along with the likes of Fowler. Might be a bit of a missed opportunity not having him with the rest of the team over towards this A site if that is where they decide to execute. As he is someone who can just open up these sites. As they rotate a couple of players down, though, it doesn't like B will be the site in question. Didn't think they would leave an asset as good as Skrunk on his own. As now they reconvene with him, he looks to push in towards his B site. Interestingly enough, the guys over at A haven't made any noise. They're not really selling this fake whatsoever. I mean, for the time being, the guys over at this A site don't even know there's anyone here. Crispy does go for the peak, tries to find that shot out onto Fail, so he's playing in towards Toilet, but it's actually going to be David K first to fall. As the long angle completely shut down, Crispy still fragging left and right, gonna get 3, he's looking for the 4th. Crispy, don't do this to me. He misses the shot, but Srison's there to back him up. Otto only able to get 1. It's going to go 5-6 as attacks. They're making their way back into this in a big way.
What a great round for them as well. Now look at the Euronics game of money. This is their last-ditched effort. This is their 3rd buy, and it's going to have to be big. They have to pull something new out the bag. They can't afford this AWP on Felser. He's going to be a full AK buy, but still, maybe it's a different avenue approach. Maybe they'll play it differently. Maybe they'll do well. So many maybes, but we don't know just yet here. Alternate attacks, they have their own AWP on Crispy, and that's going to be dangerous. Bit of a peek from Gimpin up towards that A site, but nothing going to be exposing itself to his crosshair. He has to back off here. A lot of terrorists pushing up towards that area. They split in through connector as well with a form of 3-man, but Crispy, he's going to be holding that angle. 3-man exits the connector, he could go down, but instead Crispy giving away a bit of map control, backing off safely, and that is going to be the right call to make with so many T's up in this toilet area. He's just holding off in the fallen spot, waiting for some aggression to compound into his crosshair.
Not ready to falter just yet as attacks are still holding onto this A site. Euronics, they haven't found any success over towards A, but they keep beating a dead horse here. Struggling to try and get the rounds they need. NKJ goes aggressive early on. That's going to be bombed down, and that could be all she wrote here. The rotate coming in from B, and already they're paying the price for losing the bomb. Crispy, once again, just tearing things up with the AWP. Finds 2, and then it's Tizian at the end to drop out 3-man to take them to a 6-6 equalizer and leave Euronics in a very tricky situation in terms of their economy.
Yeah, very dangerous stuff here, and I mean, it's a hard one, again, because they pick up 6 in a row, and now they just suddenly start, well, not 6 in a row, but what was it, 4 or 5 in a row? And now they just suddenly start missing out on these rounds. This is 4 in a row for alternate attacks now to bring back to a win, and an investment from Euronics to try and counter this one, as they know they've got this loss bonus in their favor, maxed out now, so they will be getting 3,400 per loss, but at the end of the day, they're not picking it up with rifles. What makes you think they're going to pick it up with Tech 9s? They've had really no avenue into these rounds and not any economical impact either. So let's see how this works. They go for this time a little bit of a faster push. We have Crispy picking up the AWP to try and get himself a pick. He succeeds. Gimpin follows, but still no refrag from Euronics. They just receive a bit of damage onto a couple of these CTs, and that is it. And just back off safely with their lives. So really important stuff for AA right now. Just waiting for Euronics to walk into their crosshairs, and they will be doing so on B. Sears, and lots of damage, but no kill. Molotov going to go out Gimpen hits the biscuit, and that will be Alternate Attacks to finally take this round lead. 7-6, and they pulled it back out of the dark.
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to bode well here for Euronics. They need to have a good T side as Alternate Attacks. They are famously a lot weaker here on the CT side with these two stand-ins if history looks to repeat itself. But as is being shown right now, they've been able to keep so many players alive in these previous couple of rounds. The economy just stacking on up. $12,000 on the back of Crispy. Everyone else around the kind of $5,000 to $7,000 mark. They're not going to have to worry about buying in these next couple of rounds. Even if they lose, their economy will be able to sustain buys. Right now, Euronics, it is going to be 4 rifles in play and an AWP up on Failsa. They're going to be making their way out towards mid.
Look at this boost over on short. I love this. You got a good elevated angle. If you go for a triple boost up onto there, you can actually peek into the B monster area, but they don't have enough players down towards that side to really do that. Either way, interesting stacks nonetheless, and we are just going to see a bit of a push up towards long from Euronics. They start to make a bit of a presence. Yeah, I would like to see some boost up on top of the head of NK, because if they get this info that B is empty, they could rotate one of these players. Instead, they are just holding back passive. We have this double setup on long, which is impressive, because Crispy, he can just bait. They peek into him, he takes a shot, backs off, and then they all focus on him while Gitman does a real damage. So, nice setup here, but they have so many players on the T side, there's no way Gitman is going to get away here without without going down, sorry. The first shot coming out, they don't even check it. Oh, look at that shot onto Crispy. Dave is just going to run around the corner and find the head of both players. So now, Alternate Attacks left in a 2-man deficit, but these T's, they've read this completely right. They fully rotated back towards the B site. Alternate Attacks have no clue in the world in Euronics. They're going to be gifted an empty site with Searson being the only man to try and deny it.
Does put the molly out to deny the plant that much more. It's NQJ on the rotate to find one, but then he's going to be traded out very, very swiftly to maintain that man advantage. You can see Searson and Tizian both trying to retake here from the same angle in heaven. It's smoked off. They're going to be having a hard time to land much through this smoke. Tizian does flash himself out. Fails on the other hand. He's not having an issue hitting stuff through the smoke. Searson's going to get taken down, as does Tizian on that push. It's going to be equalized out at 7-7. But the money on the side of Alternate Attacks means they can afford to buy down very, very healthily in spite of that loss. Oh my god, my voice just cracked live. That is the worst thing. That is the worst thing. But there we go. 7-7. Hope you're all happy.
It may be worse, but it's not as bad as getting 2 rounds on Cobble, Harry. That's one positive.
True.
Yeah. But going into the last of the half, a lot of pressure on this one. Which team is going to take the lead going into this second map? If Euronics manage to grab it, then potentially they could even upset, win the pistol, and then get themselves in a really good situation. Finish off this map here and bring it, obviously, to Mirage. But it is going to come down to the wire nonetheless. I think this is going to be a very close map here, so set up towards long for Euronics. Hopefully, if they get these entries, Alternate Attacks don't pre-rotate too heavily and give away this B site without information. But NK, he's going to have to back off as he knows these players are going to be pushing up here. Moving back towards that site as Gimpen, he's very pushed up. Crispy as well, playing the duo. Crispy gets that shot off. Skrunk does trade, or at least refrag onto Gimpen, but still, it's a 4 versus 4 in play, and we've got these players starting to round the corner on long. This is going to be a full commitment, it seems. They're not even going to be backing off back towards a B site, as already Alternate Attacks, they've started some aggression. They've got Searson flanking all the way around. That means they can fully rotate these players back towards the A site, making the assumption that B is completely clean, and NK is going to get aggressive, knowing that there's a player around the corner. Skrunk is right there with his AK, and he's going to be the prime position to do some damage as the rest of his team run out to the site. There's the first, and Crispy follows up as well. David, he gets an entry onto the site, but it's going to be to no avail. It's a 3v2. Time is ticking away from them ever so slightly, and Crispy follows up with a pistol. That's David to fall, and now fails with the AWP. He is going to fail indeed. Crispy lands a 4th kill of the round, and Alternate Attacks, they're going to pick it up 8-7 in that half.
If only finding a crack in their defenses was as easy as finding a crack in my voice. We are going to be seeing Alternate Attacks winning out that first half, 8-7, as Euronics can't quite make the grade as they push in towards the site there at the end. And, well, 1 round of difference right now between these two teams. As Alternate Attacks head onto the T side, a side that they've had a lot of success on right now, and in the previous couple of games at that. So they are going to be very well endowed here heading in towards this one. It's going to be tricky for Euronics to come back from this.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening, especially with the confidence of Alternate Attacks going into the second map. Second map after playing a 16-2. It's insurmountable to think that Euronics could pull this one back again. It's not completely off the table, but I just don't really see that being a realistic prospect here. But either way, let's see how the pistol goes. That is going to be probably the make or break here for this the second map here. Obviously, the buy coming up and go into the pistol straight away as Euronics I'm sorry, Ultimate Attacks actually, now on the T side, setting up outside of B for a little bit of a fast take. We have a Deagle in play as well on Tizian, so interesting stuff. Threeman, he's going to kick things off. Headshot comes in onto Gibbon. That's the first player just dropped out of the server. And Ultimate Attacks, they're going to be able to get this bomb down on the site as well.
Yeah, bomb's going to be planted. They might be at a man deficit, but you have got NKJ on that flank. He's on his own, isolated and alone, but is playing over towards Connector. Can come in for the flank if need be. Euronics not going to be sending anyone his way, though. And they have to try and hold on to this site now. Push coming in underway. Crispy is going to be taken out as he tries to hold things down. Tizian and Sryson, they're making quick work of these approaching Euronics players now. It's going to be a 1 versus 3. Sryson making a little bit of advantage at the fact that Threeman did so much damage to a teammate. They go for the knife frag. What a bit of BM on the other side of the smoke. Go on, Sryson, get the knife. I do believe in Christmas. Come on. There we go. Sryson gets it, and the crowd goes insane. He gets 4 frags and the knife kill. Alternate attacks. That is exactly the way you want to be starting this off to demoralize your opponent.
Yep, that's how you get into their heads. The knife pulled out. We see this so many times. How many knife kills in pistol rounds have we seen today, Harry? Especially from alternate attacks. It's just phenomenal. They did it on Cash. They did it. No, they just did it on Cash. That was it. Yeah. Oh no, they also did it on Train against Penta, and now they're doing it here as well. So great stuff from alternate attacks. Obviously, the BM is going to be very, very helpful as well, and it's going to be a triple UMP buy coming up into the second round of the half. We've got the double AK as well. Euronics going to be forcing up with a couple of scouts in play, and the rest of them are going to be on pistols. So, by and large, looking good for alternate attacks, but definitely a chance for Euronics to have some revenge, and David, he will be doing exactly that.
Yeah, Gimpert being the first to fall. I'll have to try and refrag this out. And David K, woo, he's not showing any sign of slowing down just yet. Picks up 2 very, very, as you would say, Hugo, spicy 1Ds there to start things off for the side of Euronics. They do have a 2-man advantage now, courtesy of Mr. Juan Dig, finding those 2 opening frags in mid. Not going to be able to retrieve the weapons, though, off of the... They're going to get a scavenge weapon, sorry, off the fallen attacks players. So they do get picked up and just recycled around within their own team. But still, they do find that 2-man advantage very early on. Also, when you look at their positioning, Euronics, they pushed up B very aggressively. Skrunk's going to get a lot of information from being where he is. He's going to be able to hear this rotate and call it to the rest of his team. And, well, he's able to find 1 frag as well, which is even better than a boatload of information he was getting anyway. Smokes himself off and should be able to live to fight another day here. Nades raining on through, but not going to be able to take him out. He's going to try and capitalize on this frag on a Sryson, but not quite. Sryson gets 2, leaving himself in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, pushing back into this B side as well. 25 seconds left. He needs to get himself another pick. Otherwise, it's going to be made very, very hard. 2 players peeking him at the same time. Clever stuff here from Euronics. But again, he's yet to get this bomb down. And he's got a player pushing very fast in from behind. He doesn't even realize he's going to get taken down shortly. But David, there we go. That's the headshot we were looking for. A round secured by Euronics. The force actually works out on a double scout. What a great combo for them indeed. So you can see the replays of the previous half, interestingly enough. That's fun. This is a massive round for Tizian as well. You know, they're 2 shot through the smoke. But either way, I mean, you can't hold it back. Euronics are doing very well to bring it to such a contestable scoreline here in this second map after having such a freak out on the first.
I would say that is a fair statement to make. It is looking like a bit of a different team here than what we're seeing on Overpass. They've been able to keep the scoreline nice and close. Crispy, though, saying that he keeps his friends close, but his enemies even closer. Finishes his off auto there as he tries to peek aggressively. Now, just a barrage of utility to rain on through to deny any sort of rush to capitalize on that early frag. Does mean attacks are forced on back. Now it looks like they are still going to probably commit over here towards this B site. They have already found 1 kill, and they're just waiting, biding their time, trying to fake a rotate up towards A. I think that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. The thing is, playing this one slowly, allowing Euronics to get a little bit too big for their boots and push up is going to be the way to play it for attacks. If they don't give anything away early on and let all the pushing go to the side of Euronics, this could wield some success here, but that's not going to help. Threeman spraying in through the smoke with the AK. However, they all chase him down. NK, he's on the hunt. He does fall eventually, and Tizian comes back in with a refrag. It's trades going back and forth. This time, the M4 versus a Tech 9 at range. I know who my money's on. David is in position, but the bomb plant, you have to go down. They have plenty of time. No rush. Just do the damage bit by bit, tag down these CTs, and look at that push. Very aggressive. Citizen's going to benefit as well. They just have to hide. They're up against a scout. Not exactly the best weapon for this situation, but now the 5-7's going to be out. Fails is pushing in towards, and they don't know where he is exactly, but he's going to surely give away his position, getting on top of the box, but no, Tizian, he's going to be able to get him in revenge. Will be alternate attacks, doubling down with the digits. 10-8 now, and they pick up their 4 spy round. It's back and forth, but Euronics, they are going to be inevitably reset.
That's not good for Euronics either. Being on the CT side, buying is just more expensive. To complete yourself a full buy without any utility, you'd be looking at spending $4,100. The M4, of course, being $400 more expensive than the AK. Plus your incendiary grenade and your defuse kit all add a lot onto the total cost of buying one up. So into this one, it's just going to be USPs across the board, sticking with those vanilla pistols, not wanting to invest anything into this round, and it should be an 11th on the board for alternate attacks.
Yeah, I don't see anything going the way of Euronics here. As much as we've seen some crazy Counter-Strike today, this doesn't seem like the kind of thing that will be an issue for alternate attacks to clean up, especially with the the SMG. Is going to be great at armless players. That's basically what it's made for at this point. So dollar bills on the way of NK as $600 kill reward comes in for the UMP, but they are just waiting. Euronics not going to be pushing up. They don't know what they bought up into this. This could potentially be a force from Euronics. We've seen so many force buys go back and forth that they don't actually know fully what Euronics have invested in, but I'm sure they're going to eventually work it out as they hit a site. However, we've got this stack towards connector, meaning that none of them are going to be walking into it at all. So hitting up towards one player in defense, he's going to be towards the back of the truck, and now onto attacks, they are going to be bringing the fight to him. Crispy getting very toasty on the toes. He's going to be down to 28 HP, but Euronics are already coming back up too short. The bomb's yet to go down, and technically they could deny it, but Tizian, he says no. He's going to take down Fails at NK, following up with a headshot on David. While he will trade one out, that'll probably be it all for Euronics in this round.
Yeah, Scrunk finds himself alone, scared, naked, and only with an USP in hand, trying to push up through toilets. 1 versus 4. He does hear out Crispy, finds that frag. He's low HP, can potentially grab himself an AK and look to get the hell out of there. They don't want to let him escape with this weapon, but he's giving them no choice, trying to run on back, smokes himself off, and I think he's just going to wait on the other side of the smoke. Only issue is, Sirrison's here, and he can get so much information. He's calling to them that he hasn't crossed, so they know that he's going to be playing close to this smoke, potentially pushed in towards toilets, but even then, Sirrison on the flank is quick to shut him down. It's going to go 11-8. And they can't get so much as a weapon saved on the back of that loss.
Great stuff, though, indeed, there from Alternate Attacks, just to pick up another easy round. Euronics, though, now they're going to contest it. They go into their bite. Triple M4, sorry. Double FAMAS, otherwise known as the FAMI, and they've got kits to work with as well, or at least one kit. So it's not a done deal for them, obviously. They can pick this one up. However, Alternate Attacks, they are going to have a plenty of full amount of money in the bank for the time being, and I like this, just a fast play in towards B to try and catch off Euronics before they settle into their positions. Are we seeing this potential? Oh, this is what I was talking about in the first half. We're seeing it now. Euronics, they are going for the boost, but they hear the push coming in. They have to cancel it. They've got 3 players on short. There's no way Attacks will be expecting this. However, the utility very low. NK comes in from the flank, but he only gets one before he gets traded. Treeman not hitting a single bullet, and Gimpen will also get an entry. It's Euronics to fall this time, and it's a 4v2 already in the favour massively of Attacks, but a nice nade, gonna dunk right on. David follows up with a shot. The bomb gonna be dropped as well. There's no plant coming in here for Attacks, and now after a round looking like it was surely always theirs, Crispy is gonna have to try and pull it out of the woodwork. It's all on David to win this for Euronics.
1 versus 2, and he's trying his best to come in from heaven. It's not the best angle to try and make something happen from, but he does have coverage of this bomb. That flash will allow Sirrison to pick it on up and get that bomb down. It's a 1 versus 2. David K does have the, well, I guess, positional advantage coming into this. The crossfire isn't ideal right now for the side of Attacks. He doesn't have much information to go on, though. Does spot out Crispy, but Crispy's going to be faster on the trigger, ripping through his soft, fleshy cranium to take them to a 12-8 scoreline. 4 rounds ahead currently for the time being, and their economy strengthens more and more with every victory. Euronics, on the other hand, they're going to be sitting at about $2,500, $3,000 on David K. Forced with a very awkward situation here where Alternate Attack could very easily take this to a 13-8 scoreline.
But look at David's score. 23 and 13 is disgusting. And they're losing the game as well, so that's really demoralising. And just while we're on this eco, I'll just take this time to at least explain what these numbers are on the screen. A lot of people really complaining they have no idea. There are 2 numbers. Those are both heart rate monitors, okay? So the passive one, the one that stands still doesn't change, that was a heart rate monitor of the players taken right before the match, okay? So the funny enough thing is you can see Alternate Attacks' heart rate was far lower before the match because they obviously came into this match a little more relaxed after such a stomp, whereas Euronics was a little more high because they know what the pressure is on winning this map. They can't afford to lose 0-2. And so that's why that's a little higher. And obviously the moving one is the current heart rate going up and down. So keep an eye on it during a clutch. It does come on and off. Just we don't want to block up the utility the whole time, or the armor, or the kits or whatever. But keep an eye on it during the clutch, and it does occasionally go up and down during certain situations. It's a fun little addition from ESL. But anyway, that's all said and done, and we didn't miss anything. So a push up towards long from attacks. We do have Euronics on this force by here. 3 players over towards long. Nice flash goes through. They go for the peak. Tizian, he's going to be blinded. First of all is Crispy. Oh, look at that from David. He's digging like crazy. 2 kills as well. And now alternate attacks. They're left in a 2v3.
David K, I mean, he's been nothing but impressive time and time again with that deagle. Oh, but then it's going to be very, very hard for him to make anything else happen while he is 6 feet under. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 now. Scrunk and Otto tasked with trying to hold on to this A site as it looks like alternate attacks want to continue their aggression. They're just relentless. Sheer push in towards this A site. Well, no one's really there to do anything about it. They want to try and flank up long to grab some weapons as Euronics push through toilets. It's going to be a fairly difficult play for alternate attacks to try and make the call on, but ultimately they have thrown all the guns out of a long, so it's not going to yield anything apart from a lack of a crossfire. Scrunk gets taken down. Otto has nothing to show for that aggressive push up long, and he's going to fall as it goes to a 13-8 scoreline. Alternate attacks still very much in the driving seat here.
Yeah, I feel like it's just nothing that Euronics can do to really pull this one back. There is, of course, potential with this buy, but this is going to be their last effort. If they don't win this buy round, it's going to be all over, because then it's 14 rounds. They have an eco as well, so alternate secure 15 or Euronics force, and it goes nowhere really. So yeah, this is their last chance. You could say that this is their buy to win the game, or at least try and win it, because alternate attacks, as you said, in the driving seat, looking poised and ready to close this one out in a 2-0 fashion for the grand finals. And I can't say I saw this one coming for Euronics, looking so weak in this series. At least they put up a better show on this map than they did on Cobble, but already pick looking like it's going to go their way. Tizian takes down Strunk, and now alternate attacks with a man advantage as they lead back into this B site.
Yeah, they grabbed the early kill out on a Scrunk, someone who's been a very, very key player for in the ranks of Euronics at least, and now they're having to rotate down in towards B. They bring 3 in to join up with Otto, who was the original B site defender after his compadre did end up dying. Saying that 3 just looking the wrong way, trying to pretend he's part of the scenery. It's going to get taken down. Otto has to make up for it, but he's going to find 2 nice headshots there. Puts it back up at 3-on-3. And now the aggression continuing towards this B site, but they might be having second thoughts, getting cold feet here as the rotate's coming on through. Otto's pushed up very aggressively at that as well. Bomb should be going down. Still, I mean, they are being delayed nicely. 50 seconds left on the clock, and Otto playing this perfectly, just biding his time for the rotate. Bought so much time, sprays through the wall tags. Tizian down so low, but doesn't quite find the frag. Bomb's going to be going down, and it's a 3 versus 3 for the retake.
Yeah, Otto just waiting for the right timing, waiting for his teammates to regroup so he can commit to this retake. But Tizian, he's going to jump on top of the box despite his low HP, catches the head of David, and now 2v3 and plays Euronics. They relentlessly try and push back on. Tizian's going in for more. That's 2 already. And Felzer, he picks up the AWP, trying to make something work. It flicks the first player. That's crit speed to fall, but there's still 2 more to find. Surely they wouldn't peek in this scenario, but they will. Both doubly peaked and timed well to secure NK that kill and the round, and maybe even the game there, because as I said, that was the last chance for Euronics to come back in. They've got no money in this one. The loss bonus is built up, yes, but it's not combined with any saving cash here, so this will be their last attempt. And I can imagine a force buy will be on the cards here as the 14th round has been found from attacks. Yeah, force buy.
Yeah, 1 round away from series point and becoming the winners of the ESL Meisterschaft Winter 2016. A title, of course, that would go great along with their alternate attacks. Little collection of victories that they have had throughout their CS career. Euronics, they want to try and be the black sheep though of the situation and just arise from seemingly the ashes, almost like the Phoenix. Sadly though, Fauza, he's going to fall in towards toilets. A little bit more of I don't know, some other mythical creature that just dies a lot. But there we go, it's going to be the man advantage seized for all the attacks. They continue the aggression in towards the A site. 3 pushes up through the smokes, makes his way out on a bank. Tizian gets caught in the Molotov there, but still finds the frag. Doesn't matter, he might be low HP. Bomb goes down. David K and Otto having to rotate on through. 2 Famouses between them. Not much utility, and now it's all on Otto. 1 versus 4.
Yeah, nothing he can do as well, just overrun with players, alternate attacks. They shut them down, 15 rounds on the board, and only 1 more needed to secure that first place victory, as you said. Such an achievement here. Lately, obviously, bombing out of E-League, they have won ESWC, that was the latest event that alternate attacks won, and to add this to their collection, they can't be too upset. This is looking very, very good for them, and I don't know about you, Harry, but I'm confident they'll be able to close out this round.
Yeah, well, it's a very bold claim of you to make, Hugo, when they're 15-8. I'd say I'm pretty confident in them being able to win it too. We can see they're going to be up against a very weak buy for Euronics. They just biding their time on the other side of this Molotov. Don't going to be running through the fire and flames just yet. In fact, it's going to be Euronics by the looks of things looking to experience some flames anytime soon when they get relegated into the fiery depths of hell. We can see the push coming in underway, but it's actually Otto to find that first frag. Drops out Tizian, and he's got to try and hold this site down now. He's doing a lot of damage, still alive, buying plenty of time for the rotate, but NKJ and Sirius, so they combine, they find 2 frags between them. Otto just dancing around the pillar. Still hasn't gone down, but he hasn't had much of an impact lately either. Fails it. Oh, to get another one out on a Gimpen. Otto continues this aggression, able to find one more, leaving it out of 1 versus 2, and Crispy, he gets taken down. Euronics, they live to fight another day as they hold on to that B site in textbook fashion.
Harry, our prediction was wrong. Kitcasters, that's what's happening. Either way, Euronics, they're still in this one. Again, as painful as it may seem to them, as they obviously only just clinch it out with those pistols. We do see, obviously, Alternate Attacks have plenty of money to go for another buy here. They have a Tech 9 on NK, which is 1 deficit, but the rest of them on these rifles, and obviously Euronics able to buy after winning that force up, as they bring in the AWP saved from the previous round. So Fails is going to be on that, peeking up towards long, and Alternate Attacks, again, they don't have to rush on this one. They do have a 15-9 scoreline. They can kind of just throw away rounds. It's not going to be too much of an issue, but there's no reason to go too fast for Gimpen. Dirty shot. He's going to be able to take down Failsa straight off the bat. The AWP is out of the count here for the Euronics side, and they are going to try and refrag things up over towards mid. But what is this? Connector, sorry. David, he's chasing him down, but somehow NK is going to run away with his life intact. 4 versus 5, not equalized, and Crispy, he's going to be ready. Skrunk will die.
Yeah, and the spectating screen is one that Euronics are all too familiar with for the time being. It's a 5 versus 3. You can see Refrag wanting to come through. The player in Connector, he tries to peek on out. David K able to find 1, but they are poised and ready to get the Refrag. Puts it into a 4-on-2. They maintain the 2-man advantage. And now they look to break in towards this B site. 3-man Otto rotating very preemptively here. Otto already on standby over towards Graffiti, and 3 men up in heaven. They could potentially hold this one down, but as Gimpen drops out 3 minutes, all going to be on Otto. 1 versus 3 turns it into a 1 versus 2. He was a very key player in the previous round. He looks to be it again in this one. He has to hold on to it to keep Euronics in this. It's a 15-9 scoreline. Bomb goes down. Alternate Attacks, they need this round if they want to win this one out. And Otto, he's biding his time. He spots out the player through the smoke. Surely, just gets a little glimpse of him.
Oh, he goes to the spray, but no. Searson closes it out. That will be the 16th round secured. And in a 2-0, we're going to see Alternate Attacks secure their place as the victors of ESL Meisterschaft 2016 Winter. Great performance from them. Obviously, commiserations to Euronics. They made it so far, but they're just not going to be able to secure the victory. That will be Alternate Attacks. And I mean, Harry, I don't know about you, but I think that was the expected outcome coming into today.
Yeah, I think everyone deep down knew the Alternate Attacks had what it takes. They have the experience, they've got the knowledge, and it all came together into this culmination of efforts to carry them through and win out the ESL Meisterschaft 2016 Winter Grand Finals to be crowned the champions. And, well, what a fantastic performance it was from start to finish. They looked incredibly strong despite being